Alain Uaykani joining us from Goma in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo to tell us how confident people there are feeling about this agreement and whether it's going to stick on the ground.
Well, we have been trying to monitor different discussion between Congolese, whether on social media, and also we called some people here on the ground here in Goma, for example. People still very reserved to this agreement from Doha because they know how it has been going on from Doha 1 up to right now. But it's raising hope because they know that if the discussion is still going on, it's showing that both sides is showing will of ending with some things which will be positive and also trying to change the situation here on the ground. But also they are staying very prudent. Why? Because they know how it has been very difficult for the government of DRC, for example, to respect some of the engagement. For example, when they are talking about Doha 6, it was also stated that normally prisoners were supposed to be released between the two government, the government and also the M23, but they didn't see any sign. And also when it's come to deal with the FDLR on the ground, just last week, people here on the ground in Goma and even Bukavu, they followed how the FDLR wing here in North Kivu said they will resist. They will resist against their demobilization, which the government is trying to do it by force, as it's stated in the American peace agreement as well. And this is showing also how people here, because they deal with their daily life and they don't see how things is changing, but at least to know that actors from both sides still in Doha, and with this new agreement, it has raised some hope and people are expecting to see the next step from now on.
So Alain, okay, I'm being told I'll have to let you go for now. Alain, thank you so much for that reporting from Goma in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you. Well, joining us live from Tilburg in the Netherlands is Felix Ndahinda. He's a researcher on conflict, peace and justice in the Great Lakes region. Thanks for your time. What are your initial thoughts on this deal?
I mean, it's always a welcome news that whenever we have a signed peace agreement of a sort, even if it's a framework agreement, it's always a very kind of promising in the sense that the parties are willing to sit and talk and then decide on a roadmap ahead in the talks. So it's a good sign that there is progress in that department. At the same time, it's very clear that from the statement I have seen, from the reporting I have seen, but also from the very essence of the agreement in itself, that there is still a very much long road ahead in reaching a final, let's say, settlement and end to the conflict.
So what are you basing that on? And also, I know that you have said that, as we know, the DRC government and M23 recently signed a declaration of principles, and you say that many of these principles, like prisoner exchanges, territorial control, have not materialized. So just elaborate on why you believe we're still a long way away from a comprehensive peace deal.
So, again, starting from the positive side, the mere fact that the two parties agreed to sit across each other, that's a very good sign. It was not the case long ago. I remember until not very long ago, the position of the government was that M23 is not an actor serious enough to discuss with. It was just an empty shell. So the fact that the two parties are sitting, deciding on the internal issues to discuss, and let's say laying a roadmap with, from what I was reading, the 8 different protocols to be negotiated, that's a good sign. At the same time, a sign it is, but the devil is really in the details in terms of what are the next steps. The reason being, there were principles that were agreed, and 2 major issues were decided at the time of the signing of the principles. One was that there would be a prisoner exchange, as your reporter in Goma said, that hasn't materialized, and there are not even clear steps on that materializing in the near future. I haven't seen at least traction on that. And the second, there was some kind of level of ceasefire that would be observable. Now, until yesterday, until actually this morning, different parties were still accusing each other of bombardment and so on, and fighting, active fighting. So that being said, it's good that there is a framework ahead. At the same time, how the parties will decide on the 8, I understand, 8 different protocols, 2 being one, the 2 already agreed on the prisoner exchange and observable ceasefire. but also the many others around the root causes, around refugees, around identity issues, around security arrangements, including what becomes of the territories, for example, controlled by M23. I expect very difficult conversations ahead, and I'm not quite sure yet whether we have seen any good signs of goodwill from all parties to go towards those negotiations in good faith in order to implement them and really render them operational.
What is the U.S.'s stake in all of this?
Come again?
The U.S.'s stake in all of this.
I mean, of course, we know already, for us who have been following this across the time, U.S. is very important player in this. It's behind this whole process, both the Washington, the intrastate Rwanda, DRC, but also in the Doha. We know that it's in the background with the heavy involvement of Mr. Boulos. So we know, of course, the weight of the U.S. When it throws all its might behind any kind of process that it can make a difference on the ground. But at the same time, this really is something that requires ownership from the actors to be operationalizable. So, and so far, I mean, we know also that there have been really different conversations going on. When the U.S. initially got involved, was really very much through a transactional, let's say, approach. The Congolese government approached the U.S. in search for help to militarily defeat the M23 AFC in exchange for access to mineral resources. And of course, U.S. steered the conversation towards the talks that we are seeing now, including the agreement that we have today, but also what is in Washington at the interstate level. And to me, at least my reading, and also my reading of what is going on the ground still, shows that things haven't really fully consolidated towards a commitment to peace by all parties involved, particularly the government, which has been very much still into a mode of trying to find a military resolution to a conflict where it can defeat the M23 militarily.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Felix Ndahinda, thank you so much for speaking to us from the Netherlands this hour.
My pleasure.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.